Welcome to the Wordberg Family Farm. In this video, I hope to turn this chicken yard into a thing of beauty instead of a desert wasteland. The girls need an upgrade. All right, well, welcome to the chick-in. Get it? Chick-in? So this is our beautiful chicken coop that Donnie and my son and I helped a little bit build a couple years ago, and we have a video about how we did it. It has worked beautifully. And what's also worked is the fact that we have two separate yards. If you see, there's one over on that side of the coop, and that one's only like a year and a half old. The other one we have had for probably 3 years, maybe four.
And it goes up around the corner, doesn't it?
Yep, we'll take you in there and show you some stuff in a minute. But the other side is the one we built when we first did the coop. This is the original yard. Oh, and you see I have some things growing outside. Last year I planted some bee balm and some sage, and I have yarrow along the fence over there. So I have some things done, but I want to make it prettier and more alive. If anybody has chickens, you know they just dig and peck and kill anything that's in their yard. They don't let anything grow unless it's toxic to them. You don't want to put that in here. So we have done some things. I put this willow tree in, and it's doing very well. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to give them lots of shade and also hawk protection. We do have hawks around here, so this camouflages them, and the hawk can't fly in right and get them. Now, if you look at the base of this tree, this is what I have to do to anything I plant in the chicken yard. There's rocks all around the root area and then bricks around that. That way they cannot dig down and cannot dig up the roots and kill the tree. They do leave their little fertilizer all around and fertilize the tree, but that way it stays alive. Now, if you notice, we have rocks and some logs and various things laying around just to give interest, but also after it rains, I'll flip them over and there's a buffet of worms. So they like that. Right now they're enjoying a snack of dandelion that my granddaughter and I fed them. Now, we have done grazing boxes. We've had limited success where you plant different crops and things in there and they can eat the tops, but they can't dig the roots up. So we're gonna try that again this year with some different things, maybe in a different place. And that works to some degree, but not great.
So you're planning to fix up this yard. Did the chickens tell you what they wanted, or did you come up with this on your own?
Yeah, they know what they want. I mean, I feel bad because it's just a desert wasteland. There's nothing alive. Now, with spring coming, the things that I've already planted are coming alive. This actually is a currant bush, and they don't bother the leaves of it, but when the currants come on, when the currants fall off, they'll eat them, or as low as that is, they'll just peck the currants right off the bush. But that's free food for them. And these two big things are actually mulberries. So they'll be filled with mulberries, and they'll drop mulberries for them to eat. And again, if you look at the bases, they have the rocks and the bricks all around the bottom. That's the only reason they're still alive. That just really works well.
So we have a mulch down here, don't we?
Yep, we put wood chip in here.
Wood chips. And that keeps them out of the mud.
We have an unlimited supply of wood chips, and it does keep it mud down, but I want to get more stuff growing so it's not just dirt. And I think that's a josta berry. I forget, I planted two other things in here. I'm not exactly sure what they are, but they get berries on, and the chickens like eating the berries. And see more rocks and logs, and I want to get more rocks and logs.
Here's the other side.
Yep, that's the other side of the yard.
We'll go over there and get some close-ups. And you use the wall of the ag building for part of it.
Yeah. Now, this is the side I'm going to put a lot of work into this spring. I've already done some things, and I want to do a lot more. If you see, I do have gardens in the little corner going in, so I can plant all kinds of flowers in there, and they won't kill them because they can't get to them.
So what are all these cans here?
Some of them are just water. Oh, these cans are all their food. This is their scratch. Various scratch we get from the mill, plus some sunflower seeds and some grubby worms.
Okay.
And then there's mash, and there's hemp, which is their deep bedding we use, and that's where I store their extra food. But these work great. But we do have to keep bricks on these because of the terrible wind around here. The lids would be gone. So come on into this yard. Now here's a beautiful jungle gym that somebody built for my chickens. Somebody
Looks
wonderful.
like a master craftsman.
Yeah, and they do sit on that. They sit on there. So it gives them some enjoyment. Now over here, I'm gonna be planting some elderberries. All those elderberries I started in the grow room. So I hope to get like 6 elderberries along there, and they will love eating those elderberries. And that right there is a chamomile plant. Apparently they like chamomile, but even if they don't, it'll be something green and it'll add some, you know, color to the yard. And I'm probably gonna have to fence this in for the first year till the elderberries get big enough that they won't kill it. And again, I'll be putting stones around and bricks around to protect them.
So where does the swimming pool go and the spa?
Well, we are gonna give them a new dust bath. So that's their spa, that's all they need. Now, everywhere there's a cage, I planted some comfrey plants. They do like comfrey, but again, they kill it. So I'm letting it get to us. I'm gonna let it grow this year, keep them away from it, and then next year I'll be putting the rocks around and trying to keep them alive. Now, we actually have this blocked off for 2 reasons. Number 1, so they don't kill everything I've been planting that's new. And number 2, we get new chicks in about 3 or 4 weeks. And this system works wonderfully when you get new chicks, because we can close off the end of the chicken house, cut it in half. The big girls get the half that goes up to the coop. The little girls get the half on this end. And then when they get big enough, the little girls can come out in this yard. And it works great because the little girls can see the big girls, but they can't get to them, the big girls can't get to them to hurt them. So it works perfect when we get another batch of chicks. It's a great way to integrate them. Now these are 2 more currant bushes, and those I got by propagating other currant bushes. So those were free. And if you remember, I love free bushes. And this is actually a sweet gum tree. Now I was reading, they're the ones that give off those prickly, pokey balls, we call it, the seed pod things. They're really pokey. But I read somewhere the chickens will eat the seeds out of there. I don't know, we'll see. But they're a beautiful tree. So
Let
at
me
the very
see
least,
your right hand here. What are you up to?
I was picking dandelion with my granddaughter. Yeah, that's the hand of a happy woman.
Yeah.
So I have the sweet gum, and then I have 2 bourgeois berries, which will give them food. So in here, I want to plant some more plants, probably along the fence, that they can peck through and get food, and maybe even some herbs. I want to bring some herbs out and try to get them planted. They say mint is invasive. I don't really care if it's invasive in here. The chickens can just go crazy on it. Now the 2 bushes over here are new. We just planted those. Those are spice bush. They were actually growing in the woods on the end of our farm. And my son dug them up, and we had them by the garden for a year, and they grew and got really healthy. And now he helped me move them in here. So it's just nice. There are little berries on here they can eat too, but it really just adds interest to it. Keeps the hawks confused.
And this is another one
And it's
here?
just pretty. I like it. If you notice, I put some dandelion in here. I would love to get dandelion growing in here. Now, they might kill it, but if I can get some growing before they come over here in 2 months, they'll have a little snack. And again, just big logs that I can just roll. And then if there's any bugs under them, they go crazy. Oh, 1 more currant bush.
Looks like you got your work cut out for you.
Yeah, but I have a lot started, but I'm going to bring you back probably in about 6 weeks and show you what I've done, and everything will be alive and busting, and you will see. It's going to be a gorgeous chicken yard, not a desert wasteland.
So you doing this for the chickens or for you?
Both.
Okay.
Remember, I like things functional and pretty.
Cool.
And a lot of people come to visit us and see our chickens, so just,
You want them to feel at home too?
yes, and have a pretty chicken yard. We're going to introduce them to their new little fort. Okay, girls, come get it. Come on. Come get it.
You have some underneath?
Yep. See
We
who's
have
the
it
first
all around.
See who the first brave one is to go underneath. Who's gonna be brave, huh? There we go. Got one underneath. There's another underneath. Now they're used to it. Well, I meant to bring you back in 6 or 7 weeks. It's actually been a little over a year. So I started this video the spring of 23. It's now the summer of 24. So let me show you how it looks now. It looks a lot different. Follow me. I'll start by showing you what I did along the outside of the run. And I said last time I planted bee balm and sage, and look what it does in the summer. It goes crazy. But I also have some other flowers around.
Which one's the sage?
This is sage. They're supposed to like to eat it, but they don't seem to want to eat it, so at least it's pretty. But it is amazing, and the bees like it. The bee balm has a little bit of powdery mildew. It actually looked better a couple weeks ago, but I cut some off. It should grow back and maybe bloom then. This is the really pretty part. Down along this whole edge, I planted yarrow, lemon balm, and daisies. It's all things they will eat. And in the early spring, you can tell there's nothing growing within 6 inches of their cage, the fence, because they reach out through and grab it. They've been getting so much stuff from the garden lately that they're not eating this stuff. But these are all things they enjoy eating. And they're pretty.
Is this yarrow?
That's yarrow, it's just not blooming yet.
Wow, I got one right.
Not sure. It's actually this color. It's like a peachy color.
Yeah.
But I like this because it comes back every year. I don't have to do a thing to it. Cut it off when it's done. And it's beautiful.
You have some sunflowers. Are they volunteers down there?
Yeah, they actually are. I had some sunflowers different places along here last year, and they dropped their seeds. So they're going to be beautiful, but I didn't plant them.
You like it out here in the morning, don't you?
Yeah, especially when it's going to be 96 in the afternoon. I like it in the morning.
Well, it's tough on the shadows on the camera, though. Although that makes a beautiful under reflection with the sun shining through.
There you go. See, he's the cameraman. Not my gift. So that's this whole edge of the fence. And it also gives them kind of a privacy. It gives them more shade in the afternoon. It just serves a lot of purposes. And this side is still a little bit of a work in progress. I have comfrey, which is a perennial, bushes out like crazy, and they like to eat that too. And between the comfreys, I just recently planted some false sunflowers. And they're a little weak looking, but they're doing okay. But they'll fill in and get bigger too. So this side will be pretty. So I'll have 3 pretty sides. I do like things pretty, don't I?
Yes, you do.
The chickens do too.
So do I.
They told me they like pretty things.
Okay. Oh, look, there she's reaching through. See?
She's probably looking for bugs, but yeah, it's amazing how far they can reach through. Like I say, normally, that row over there, there's nothing growing near the fence. But I've been giving them so many leftovers from the garden, spinach, cabbage, broccoli, all the plants that are done. They've had plenty of green, so they haven't wanted to eat the stuff along the fence.
Grass is always greener, or
yeah,
maybe there's always more bugs on the other side of the fence.
They do look for bugs, I'll tell you what.
That's quite a stretch.
Yeah, see, they can stretch about 6-7 inches sometimes. So anything you do plant, you want to make sure it is at least that far away so they can't dig it up or pull it up. But now I'll take you inside and show you what else grown inside there.
Looking at the overall, it's beautiful green, very appealing.
Yeah. And lots of hawk protection.
Yeah, lots of trees in there now.
Yeah, and they're growing nicely.
You gonna take us inside?
I'm gonna take you inside. I didn't mention the milkweed. I didn't plant that, that just came up. And since I raise monarchs, I just can't pull it out. So they also have a little patch of milkweed outside their house, which they like. And over in here, I have a little garden right outside the gate. And I have nasturtium in there, a couple other things. And I just had some lavender plants that I had propagated, nowhere to go with them. So I put them in here. I thought, why not? Make the chicken coop smell like lavender. And then just some nasturtium around the sides too. And all this is stuff they can eat. So if they do reach their head through and eat something, it's okay. You gotta watch you don't plant toxic things. They usually know what not to eat, but I don't know that I trust them 100%. So come on in here to the gorgeous chicken run. Beep, 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 little ladies. Is this cool or what? I love this weeping willow, and so do they. In the afternoon when it's hot, a lot of them are under this tree, huddled down in little holes. So it grows really fast. Now, once in a while, I do trim some of the longer branches up so I can actually see under here. I don't want to be, I want to always be able to see my chickens. I don't want them to hide from me. I want them to hide from hawks. So this tree has worked wonderfully. Well, the willow isn't the only thing that's grown nicely. We have a currant bush and some other bush that produces berries. I can't remember what I planted, but it's something that's supposed to produce berries. But they're growing and filling in, and all of them just kind of confuse the hawks from the air. They see all this stuff and they aren't going to dive in and take my chickens. And the mulberry has grown. And I know some people think of mulberries as like junk trees, but these girls had so much fun eating the berries this year. They would actually jump up and try to get the bottom ones. And I would come out every so often and shake the tree and shake a bunch of mulberries on the ground so they could get them.
Are you worried about them roosting in there, or have you seen any?
No, that's pretty high. That's pretty high. They aren't going to go up that high, I don't think. If they do, I'll clip their wings.
Okay.
But it really is a nice tree for them. I mean, it's perfect.
They are a junk tree in my book, but
For inside a chicken yard, though, you can't beat it. It's free food, free shade, and it's pretty, right?
as long as the birds don't get those messy berries and drop them on my white car.
Well, some of the high ones they might, but luckily I shook them down, so probably wasn't too many left for the birds.
Okay.
But they did have fun. And there's just a couple other bushes in here. Now this might be a different kind of currant. See, I planted things in here, I can't remember what they are. This might be a red currant, I'm not sure. I'll see what the berries turn out to be, or it might be a chokeberry actually.
Oh, I think it's a chokeberry.
I don't know if they eat those. Not sure why I planted it in here, but it's pretty. We'll have to see what they do with the berries.
Yeah.
There we go. Now this one I know is a jostaberry or yostaberry. I'm not sure which way it's pronounced. I've heard it both, jostaberry or yostaberry. And we had never had these before. They're actually a cross between a currant and a gooseberry. We tasted some from the other side last night. They are delicious. So I'm actually trying to propagate some and see if we can get some going for the garden. And over there's the pretty little hut that Donnie made. And they do spend time under there. They're not.
When the sun is high in the day,
Yes.
then they have
They're not
full
there
shade.
right here, right now, because we're in here and they want to see what we're doing. But they really like being under that. Now they haven't gone up top to the roost. That's one thing they haven't used. But I'm glad we did that.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure. That always makes me nervous.
Something seems different about this video and the one that you put out last week. I'm just not sure what it is.
Somebody was missing last week. I didn't have my cameraman.
Does that make a difference?
Yeah, huge difference. He wasn't just not here, he was away. He was actually in Peru. So he was away for 2 weeks and I manned the farm for 2 weeks by myself. So don't think I'm anxious to do that again anytime too soon.
But you should do a video of how to run a 40-acre farm by yourself.
No, yeah, you don't have time to do a video. I was lucky I got time just to do that one where I was sitting and talking. But we survived it. Do you want to tell them why you were away?
I was with the university students and we were working on an engineering project, putting wind turbines in the Andes Mountains in Peru.
He's worked with a couple groups from the nearby university, different collaboratories. And this was one he got to go on a trip with. So I'm kind of hoping there's no more coming up, at least not during the summer. But we'll see. But we did survive. All the chickens are happy. I'm happy. The cows lived. So success. Now let me show you the other side. So we showed you in the first half of the video that we have two separate yards and that we can close one off and close or either one. And this is the door to one of the yards, and the other door is over here that goes into the other half. And right now they have access to both yards. They can come and go as they please. I mentioned in my plans that I wanted to plant elderberries all along this building. It worked. I have elderberry bushes all along that building, and they're even going to get elderberries this summer. So next year there should be a lot of berries on these that they can get. But it just adds some intrigue and prettiness to this ugly wall. And they do like hiding under there. And I do have bricks and rocks around so they don't dig up the roots and kill the plants, because they will. But they do hang around a lot back in there.
They do have lots of shade here. They know where to find it.
Lots of shade and lots of hawk protection. So, and this is a currant bush that's doing well, 2 currant bushes. And they're black currant. They have some on right now that they didn't reach. They reach all that they can.
Let's see them here close. Okay.
And then every once in a while I'll come out and just pick some off and throw them to the chickens. And they have fun to get that. But you can tell they've broken some branches off, jumping up trying to get the currants, but that's okay. Oh, here's a whole bunch. Hey, girls. Look, some fell down in the bush and they just go running in there.
Yeah, they're all coming your way.
I'll just drop them right down. But that's the thing. They don't even mind if berries are a little bit overripe, so if they just fall to the ground, they're just as happy as having picked ripe ones off the bush. Oh, this guy has a bunch up here too. Wow, they really did well this year. This is the first year they produced a lot of fruit. I think they're 3 years old now, and these are ones I propagated from the currant bush over there.
You certainly do treat your chickens well.
Yeah, I do. But we actually have a little bit of work to do in here because there's some weeds growing right there. Things that they're not supposed to eat, they usually don't eat. And this is one weed they don't eat. Just needs to be pulled. And this is another one that is driving me crazy. Bindweed. It's like a wild morning glory. It's in the nightshade family and it is toxic. So we need to pull that out of here or somehow eradicate that thing. But these two then are more josta berries. And if you've never seen a josta berry or a yosta berry, they get really dark. They're, like I say, they're a cross between a gooseberry and a currant, black currant. These are like the one still not quite ripe, it's red, but they are delicious. Let's see that chicken, did you hear that noise?
Yeah.
That was a chicken jumping up in the bush trying to get the berries. There you go, girls. So we have 2 nice big josta berries, and that's the sweet gum. It's growing nicely, as well as the comfrey that I planted along that fence. They haven't completely killed it. I've had some fence around it, fencing, so they haven't killed it. But they do eat. You can see, like the bottom part they can reach is all gone.
It just feels very lush out here.
It could handle a few more things maybe. But then we have back in this corner, the 2 spice bushes we just planted last year, and they look beautiful. They're doing great. And like I say, they get little berries on. These are more for shade, aesthetics, than it is for food. But spice bushes are native to Pennsylvania, so they should grow very well. I think it still needs a few more things along that wall over there, though. It's just, oh, there's an egg laying on the ground. Look at this.
Where?
Somebody dropped an egg. So now I don't know if this has been here a day, a week. So it's going to go in the compost pile. It's probably very rotten. But don't you think we need something else right here to cover that wall? Maybe more elderberries or something. I think we need something there. What do you think, dear?
Oh, absolutely. It was really bothering me.
Well, because one thing, the rain comes off that roof above there and it provides a lot of water. So things should grow there very well.
Yeah, they would. Yeah.
So I think probably 2 more bushes of some kind. Maybe I'll look into some other ones like gooseberries or something else chickens really like to eat.
Propagate more.
Yeah, well, I've propagated more currants and more yasta berries. So they're definitely coming in here. And we have tons of spice bushes I could plant. But I think I want to plant something else for food. So what do you think? Does it look a little better than the first half of the video?
Big change, that's for sure.
It's getting there. I'm sure it's always going to be a work in progress, but I do feel happy to have my girls have a beautiful and safe environment, plus one that gives them free food. I mean, that was a big plus. It's free food. Things that drop fruit, don't pay for it once it's in. So thanks for joining me as I showed you my chicken yard upgrade. And I can tell you, the chickens are very happy with it.
They told me so too.
You talk chicken now too? All right, we'll see you in our next video. Bye-bye.